Tina Turner, Simply the Best, is a Pepsi-Cola production. This program has been distributed to ITV by Pepsi-Cola.
Tina Turner, a name which means so much in the music business. 30 years which have seen massive success through hard times and through good times. A woman who has not only survived, but surpassed many of her contemporaries. With a voice that could knock a train sideways, she has retained credibility in a world where others just dream of it. She is the consummate professional. She is Tina Turner. Well, Tina, you've just released a greatest hits album, which comes sometime after the Foreign Affair tour. How do you now look back at that tour? Was it fun?
It was a mixture of feelings, actually. It was because it is known that that's a tour that I actually, Roger talked me into doing, and I was happy about doing it afterwards. The feeling came because I wasn't quite ready to go back out, but after going out, I really found that I did. The dream came true. I was packing stadiums, and I kept thinking to myself, this is what I always wanted, and if I hadn't done this tour, I never would have realized it. You know, there's a few stadiums that I had packed with the other previous albums, Private Dancer and Break Every Rule, but it was incredible. I have to, you know, I did thank him, but I think I'll thank him for years to come for really getting me to do it.
You always seem to be a person who feels completely at home when you're up on that stage. Is that the real you up there?
It's my contact with the people. I think I did a show recently in Monte Carlo, and I missed being at home with the kids and my kind of a crowd. And I really realized that that's the kind of work I have to do in order to really enjoy it and be able to laugh and play with the kids and play with the people. It makes it fun for me. And that's what the audiences have been, audiences that I could really make them laugh and make them become a part of it. And we all had a good time rather than me just standing there parading around the stage and performing. That's a part of what I enjoyed as well this time.
Foreign Affair, the name of the tour, the album, the song. A song that reflects the south of France. That type of feeling is...
Shocking, that song. It was brought to me when the album was practically finished, and it was written by Tony Joe White. And I thought, how can Tony Joe White write a song like this? Then I found that Tony actually toured Europe a lot, and he was inspired by the French to write this incredible song. From that song, everything else came. The title of the album, the photographs being taken in France, and the whole feeling of it becoming a really European connection.
How did you actually meet Tony Joe White? Because he was a bit of a surprise to you, wasn't he?
Yeah, I actually laugh like now. I don't know why it was funny. I think it was funny because it was two souls meeting. It was the energy that this man held. First of all, I thought he was a black man. I thought he was like Bo Diddley, kind of like that. And he came in looking like a black Mark Knopfler, a dark version of Knopfler, long legs, tall, lanky, speaking with a very heavy, slow voice. And I immediately, he says, I must have looked like the strangest dude she'd ever seen, Southern accent. And I apologized later. I just said to him that I became very excited for meeting him because I was excited about having those type of songs. Those R&B songs that's on that album are songs that you don't really get anymore. I took them for that same reason. There's nobody to write that kind of music anymore, or we don't get that kind of R&B music anymore. So I was excited on many levels to actually record some more rock, rhythm and blues songs because the people that wanted it, the people that still wanted to hear Tina Turner sing R&B.
Now, one song on the album seems to be a surprise to most people because of the people that wrote it, that looked me in the heart. And that was Steinberg and Kelly, who wrote Like a Virgin. So what did you think of that song when you first heard it?
I liked it because some songs I like, but I don't think they fit me sometimes. You know, they might, it's like hearing an artist sing a song, you figure, I really like that song, but I would not have liked to have recorded it. Well, this song I did like, but I didn't actually know what I was going to do with it. My voice is a bit unusual. It's sort of raspy and bassy, but that was a happy feeling song that I felt that I would like for the people to actually hear me sing. So that was a hard one though in the recording studio. That was one that, again, Roger had come in with his managerial support and help us to get it together. And we did. And we all took about 2 days to really get that one going. And when it started to feel, we started to look each other like, we've got it. Look at the feeling of it. Even now, when you put the record on, it's got that feeling with it. It's a really loving song.
Do you take a bit of convincing sometimes? Are there songs that Roger Davis, your manager, plays to you, and you think, I don't want to sing that?
Well, he knows now. Basically, now if he comes with something, he won't come now with something that he knows I actually would just hide, so that I don't even want to hear about it. He will say to me, there are songs here that I know you don't want to do. I think you should listen to them at least so that I can tell the songwriter, you know, that I did present them to you. But now if it's something that he feels is commercially good, he will say to me, Tina, this is a song that you might not feel right away. It might take some work on your part, but I think you should do it. And then I know that it's worth my while listening to. But I always listen to all the ones, even if I just listen to the first few courses and know it's not it. But I think we've gotten past that stage of him really trying to push something on me, because, you know, he will only do it now if he feels that it is a commercially good song and we should do it.
Now, I Don't Want to Lose You is a song where the crowd, they go mad, don't they? They have their lighters up in the air, you know, when they get the slow song, and they sing along to it. How does it feel for you to have the whole audience singing along to one of your songs?
I always wanted that, too. I'd gone to some performances in Europe, and I thought, oh, how great to get the audience to know your material that much. Well, you know where that comes from. Back in the years when I covered, when you cover, you don't have your own song, so you don't have all your fans there that know your music. So finally, when I got my own music, and to experience that, I think the first time I just started really laughing, because it sounds so great hearing a mass of people sing your song back at you. Yeah, it's been some moments that will last.
It's been 30 years in the business, and you had your first production credit on the album for The Best, a song that has your own feelings in the video, really. It has your own video, doesn't it? Why did you want to do that?
Do you know that it really is 30 years? This 27th of October, I'm 30 years in the business. I'm drinking 4 bottles of champagne on my own. Yeah, and 30 years in the business to finally produce a song, to actually almost produce the video. I had a feeling about The Best. It brought out maybe what a time in my life is like now. It was a freedom. It was to drive or ride a horse and let the wind go and think how beautiful life is, rather than how great a person is or a love or the best. And that I just felt that it shouldn't be about a love affair about people. It should be about something else, because there can be beautiful and loving feelings about a beautiful day. And maybe it's because I'm now realizing that, you know, in my life. So I felt I would always drive my Jeep and listen to these songs and with the windows down and really going fast. And I felt this song has to be an energy song. I need to be riding a horse. Aha! You tell Roger Davies that I want to ride a horse. What else are you going to do? Just ride a horse, you know? Oh, God, now I've got to convince. I've got to get a director that can make this happen, you know? What else am I going to do with the horse? Well, people are always talking about my legs. First, I'm Sagittarian. I can definitely relate with horses, muscular body, and so forth. So use the image with the mane of the horse, the muscles and the legs of the horse, the trotting of a horse, the whole bit. If I could really ride professionally, I could have done some incredible things with what I felt with the trot along with the first part of the music and then moving into the gallop. I had a whole thing in my head. I didn't care about the stage production side of it. I only wanted to do the horse bit.
Now let's go back to the beginning of the 80s when for many people they saw your career as restarting. But did you see that as the restart or really just the start of your career?
Restart, I totally understand, because there were I have a lot of fans from the past that wanted a success for me, so they felt but I felt mine now. Tina, I felt finally now I have my own music, I have my own stage, I have my own chosen musicians. It's all mine now. And I think I referred to that once as saying, I started my career, and everybody's, what? What do you mean? As far as I'm concerned, this is my career. The last, I would have to say, is about 10 years or so. That's mine. Yeah, I took a lot of experiences from what I learned from the past, but I changed it all in a way, because of the freedom that I have with my stage work now and the choices that I made.
And that was a time where you recorded Let's Stay Together, but it didn't come about that easily, did it? It was...
No, that was one of those songs in the beginning of Roger Davies and my relationship, where Heaven 17 had sent some material over from another album, the album of Quality and Distinction, I think was the name of that album. And I did a Temptation song with them, and I liked their energy in the music they were doing. It was the first electric music I'd ever encountered working with. And I wanted to work with them again. So then when I was about to do a European tour, and Roger felt I needed some kind of single to release to introduce the tour. And that's when we all tried to find a cover song to do, because there wasn't, any original music around. So between Martin Ware and Greg Walsh and myself, we came up with it. We all loved Let's Stay Together, and Roger. And so we felt, well, let's do that one.
When you decided to push for success in your career, you were already well known to many stars, David Bowie being one of them. He was a fan of yours, and he came to see a gig in New York with a lot of record company people that helped you out.
You're right. Yeah, I think that he was a part of that time when I was starting. David and a lot of Mick and all the guys, they sort of have an affection for my work, my style. David had come to see me years and years ago, the first time I actually had ever met him in Switzerland, when I was before my success. So he'd always sort of been there, hearing there. And so when I was performing there in New York, he once again came to see me, which by him saying yes to these people I'm going to see Tina Turner perform, of course they came. Then later, of course, coming on stage with me. And yeah, the connection with all of what I wanted to do, like those were my heroes in some kind of way, they all came with, with the success.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, he did later on, in fact, at the Birmingham Exhibition Centre, he came on stage and sang Tonight with you. Was that a surprise? Because in the video, it looks that you look shocked and surprised. Was that a surprise to you?
That was a time for David and Tina almost. It's like he came in New York and we saw each other, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a thing that I had taken this song of his, and then he wrote another song, Girls. So we were like sort of making a lot of contact at that time. So then I said to him, I don't know, he was in New York. It's very, very hard to remember. It's been 2-3 years down the line, to know exactly what happened with. But he was there in London, and I said, you want to go on stage with me? That's the song that we had just recorded together. There it is, a duet of Tonight. So he said, yeah, I don't mind. He hadn't toured for a long time. So that was the plan for him to do it. So, but I wanted it. I planned it. I said to him, okay, you're my knight in shining armor. I want you to be in white when you... Actually, he went out and he bought his Johnny Versace new white jacket and the whole bit for me, So I said, the people are going to be so shocked. And they were. It was just like how I had planned. He came up from the back, he was lit, and he stood there, and the people just went nuts. And I went, I loved it. It was fun.
At that time of the Private Dancer album, that must have been a very frantic period, because you'd come to London, and you had to record an album pretty quickly and search for songs. One song was Better Be Good to Me. One that's remained with you, really, over the years, hasn't it?
That was my period. That was when I really enjoyed being rock and roll. The jean jacket, the little leather dress, the big hair, Bryan Adams, David Bowie, the whole works. The energy is still in all of the photographs. The photographs are still being used. That's when I made it. That was my time. I was really rock and roll. I absolutely, totally enjoyed the whole thing. Now, the Better Be Good to Me. Another one came to me mysteriously. It sort of came, of course, it was something that had been recorded eons ago or something, and it captured me like the best. I felt, what a wonderful song. And everyone that we played it for felt the same. Again, it's how are you going to get it in the recording studio? Another one that was hard to get. But we got it. And yeah, that's another one that was, and is still wonderful. Prisoner of Your Love.
One song off that album, the one that really, that cracked everything, What's Love Got to Do with It? The Grammy Award winner, the #1 in America, but it's one that I've read that you described as wimpy.
Gosh, I had been covering Honky Tonk Woman and Hot Legs and What's Love Got to Do? Ha, ha, ha. I thought, oh my God, geez, how am I going to sing this song? And Yeah, it was just a little bitsy song, like, kind of, you know, and it's one of those things where you say, what am I going to do with this? So, but that was a demo, and Roger kept saying, you know, it's a demo, you know, meet Terry, you know, see what the two of you can do with this. I just know this song is a hit. So I met Terry, and that was the beginning of feeling the song now and what it is. He started to play his guitar, and he's a very special producer, musician, however you want to put it. He's got it right there in his hands, you know. He's sitting there swimming in his feet. It was all his studio. I mean, the studio wasn't really finished yet. It was, that whole time was crazy, running a studio, rehearsing, doing a track here, rehearsing there. It was just full of everything. Roger and I on the street, freezing in London, didn't have a car. We thought we could do it by taxi. Oh, not taxis, no, those areas, you know. It's, all of that time was really how you make it, you know, and we struggled, and we won. And there was Terry in one of those small places where we were visiting to either do a key or accept a song. And he's shy. Well, first, you know, when he doesn't know you. So he started to play it. And then we changed the key, and we changed a few things. And there it was. And I still didn't really feel it totally until I heard it back. I like to work with Terry in the studio. I like what he gets out of me, because there's something that he hears in my voice that he wants. And that was what happened after I left the room as well. But I have to say that also that song was definitely produced by Terry. He literally went down all of those areas with me to make sure he got out of my voice what he wanted. Hard, yeah. I was having to stand on a coin almost to do some of what he wanted. But that's how he directs, you know, and it was, I produced with it. And I liked it afterwards. Yeah. I could see that it was an unusual song. It is. Boop, 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 boop. And you feel, oh. But that was the magic of it also. It got people's attention. I was doing everything it takes to make a hit record. Whatever Roger said to do as a manager, I did it. And this particular day, I had gotten up in the mornings and gotten myself prepared for signing autographs at Tower Records in New York City. Another surprise. I arrived, and there were lines all around both sides of the building. And you see, all of this is dream come true for people that see it when it happens for other people. And then when it's finally happening for you, you go, gosh, you know. A little bigger gosh, you know, or wow, or something. I walked in the studio, and you're dealing with all the fans that want to kiss you or want to give you a present, and it was crazy and signing. And at that very moment, Roger walked in the back of me after signing for nearly an hour. And he said, it's number one, darling. And I think I just literally leaped out of my chair and went, hey! And of course, the people didn't know what was happening. I said, this record I'm signing for you now has gone number one here in America. And fantastic, because that was the whole thing in America, is to get a number one. Or it still is, really, to get a number one, because there's so much competition there and all, you know.
Now, another song that Terry Britton gave you was Show Some Respect. That's much more like a Tina Turner song, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Terry, he said to me, I love Nutbush, he said. I always wanted to record a song like that. So he tried to get the feeling of what Nutbush actually do on stage when we record it, and that one still works actually on stage.
Mark Knopfler gave you Private Dancer, didn't he? Because he felt it would be best for a woman's voice.
For a girl. That one, I think, was sitting there waiting for me. Roger Davies knew Ed Bicknell, and he said to Ed, does Mark have any songs, or will he write some? And he went to Mark, and Mark, of course, said, aha, I think I do. I think I do have a song. That would be perfect for Tina. And he gave me Private Dancer, and he did give me a hit. I think he knew also that it was a hit. I liked how he sung it, actually. I still think it would have been a hit if Mark had kept his own song. But he's very strict with himself about what is personal that he sings and what he believes, because, you know, his music, he sings it out of belief and feeling. And I don't think Mark would have made a very nice Private Dancer. Mwah.
Now, another song that you recorded around that time was the Ann Peebles song, I Can't Stand the Rain.
Gosh, we have all
I mean, a
those in
classic
there?
song, a really
I'll
classic
buy this
song.
album.
How difficult is it to record someone else's song that is a classic already? How difficult is it to give it your own feeling?
I don't change it. Just sing it. I just take my voice, which is something that I've never liked either, but somehow kind of way it works. You know, I covered those people's songs years ago because that's basically my career was covering. And that's Let's Stay Together and Can't Stand the Rain. During the Sam and Dave time and all that Memphis sound, these are songs that we sung. So I knew the song. I know the song. And so it was nothing for me to sing it. I think I might have rocked it a bit or did something to it because it sounds totally different from how Ann sings it. That's all I did. I liked her song, and Tina, sung her song. And then, of course, Terry Britton did his idea of an arrangement to it, which it came up sort of unusual, and I think that's why it got the attention that it did.
Now, films have been something very special to you, something that you've wanted to be involved in, and you were involved in Tommy, and you're involved in Mad Max, which I hear happened at the same time that you got your US #1.
Yeah. You know, I don't remember if it was before or after. I remember Roger coming into the room and saying, it was so much magic happening then. Says, you know, George Miller just rang me. Mad Max. Mad Max was huge then. I would have loved to have been in the first and the second. And I thought, George Miller, I didn't know who George Miller was. And Roger just told me who George Miller was. And of course I was like, what? He rang? What do you want? What? So he's interested in you doing a part in the second Mad Max. That was it. That was it. I think that was bigger than the #1 record. Because acting is something that I do often. I wanted it. I wanted it like now. But of course, stop, Tina, wait. You have to read first. I mean, he's not sure. He just knows that you might be the woman for the part. I did it. I love every minute of it today. My first really movie speaking dialogue, not dancing, not doing it, really fighting, driving a car, getting dirty, being out there, doing it, you know, what I want to do. I'm not interested in doing serious movies at the moment. Wonderful if I could get one and become successful at it, but being safe is doing what you know you can do. And the Mad Max type of movie, Alien, Terminator, is my cup of tea. If Roger wants me to go to work now, he can get me those type of movies and I'll go out tomorrow. Because it's what you gotta want to do something, not just do it because it's a challenge or you're trying to get Oscar's attention. But that was it, and I get excited even now when I talk about it. It was the most fun. Roger wasn't even there to bother me. No one was there. I had no assistants. I was all in the desert, Cuba Petey, on my own, with all the movie people. Bigger than life.
That was a role, this very strong, dominating woman, and on Typical Male, on the video to that, we have this very strong, dominating woman. A woman that a lot of people see as Tina Turner. Is Tina Turner this dominating person?
I can be, but it's not how I want to be seen. On movies, yes, but not in my business.
You're not a daunting person, though, are you? You don't actually terrify people, I don't think.
No, that's what I mean. I think I don't even really terrify people when I'm really angry because I become very quiet when I'm angry. I don't like to use my power. I don't think it's necessary. I think you can do it with love, with just talking to people. Yeah, in conversations it gets heated, but you solve it. I think I probably don't like it because I came from so much of arguing and fighting that I feel like I know things can be done harmoniously in business. So that is why I let Roger lead and I follow. It's the best way because I simply don't like being the boss, being that mean person. Not that it takes it to be mean, but sometimes in this business you gotta get that way. I really don't like it.
Now, another song that's on the album, Two People, a song that you did 2 videos for, one which had you in very different images, like sort of a red Indian, and you had a 30s sort of starlet image. And the 30s starlet seems to be an image which you enjoy.
Was that one with the black hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to play around with that some too. I don't know. I haven't decided where yet. I don't know how to use it, but it's old Hollywood. You know, it's fantasy. It's you know all the French. Same the feelings you get from the French, all of with the makeup and the hair and the hats, and I mean only the English wear hats anymore. It's not sort of really really, really stylish anymore, you know. I love playing with the fantasy. I'm fantasy-minded. I'm almost like a kid. Everything has to have a meaning. If I'm going to dress in those hats and everything, it's, okay, now I'm French. If I went with a big white one, then I'm in New Orleans on the big boat bit, you know, then all of that. So we didn't actually probably use that video for that reason, because it wasn't realistic enough.
Now bring us up to date with Rod Stewart and the song It Takes Two. Now was Rod Stewart what we all expect when you recorded with him this time?
Yeah. And I used to say yeah like this because we're talking about Marvin Gaye. Oh goodness, we got to make sure we get it right, and we got it right. It wasn't easy for either one of us because the phrasing of how Marvin phrases, etc. But the outcome of that was, I don't know what Rod feels yet. We didn't really talk, but we made it happen. And he did the track. The track was, and I said to him, I wanted raw rock and roll, because the version that Marvin Gaye did with it was, you know, more R&B, and I needed it more rocky. And he says, well, that's what you're gonna get, lady, and that's what we got.
Now, as we started the interview, we finished the interview, it's been a long time since the last tour. What will Tina Turner do now? Films, touring, retire? What will happen?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I'll try to make it fast. When I started my career, I went to Roger Davis and I said, I want to get back into the rock halls. I want to get hit records. And whatever it is I named. We went out and we did it. Now I want to take a rest, and then I'm going to go to Roger Davis and say, this is the type of movie I want to do. I'll probably say it on a stick, but I'll still say it most likely. I'm going to give Roger a list of things that I want to do. And when we've both rested, we'll go back out and try it again. That's what I think I'm going to do.
Tina Turner, thank you.
Tina Turner, simply the best, was a Pepsi-Cola production. This program was distributed to ITV by Pepsi-Cola.